What's up guys, Manny from Motomillion. If a video starts off with a bike that's covered, you know it's unveiling time. I want you to please pause the video, go and comment down below, let us know what you think this new project is. Okay, you ready? No fussing around. Let's reveal our new project. And if that wheel is not a dead giveaway of what this is, it is in fact the Supreme Ducati Streetfighter V4. So let's start off by what is Supreme, because not everybody might not know this. So Supreme was a streetwear brand that started in New York in 1994, and Ducati collaborated with them to make this new Ducati Streetfighter V4 Supreme Edition. And if you guys know of all the special editions that Ducati is bringing out, this is one of the two Streetfighter V4s that have gotten a special edition. The first one was the Ducati Streetfighter V4 Lamborghini, and then this is the second generation of it, that is the Ducati Streetfighter V4 Supreme Edition. The Lamborghini editions were made 630 of, plus the 63 special client examples that got to match their Lamborghinis to their Lamborghini Streetfighter V4s, but the 630 of them just got the paint that came from the factory, but it had all bespoke bodywork that was mostly all carbon fiber. And then the Supreme Streetfighter V4 that you see over here is only one of 250, which makes this the rarest Streetfighter V4 special editions till date. MSRP of the Lamborghini editions started at $63,000, and for that extra special 63 of them that were made was $86,000. And for this one, it's $50,000 US. So now that we quickly went over what this model and the history behind this model is, let me give you guys my first impressions. This is a little touchy subject or a controversial subject that has become a part of many videos online. Our good buddy Jared Campisi also made a video about the special editions that Ducati's been releasing. Number one, I also got reached out by Ducati when they were just getting out to their good clients saying that, hey, we got a new special edition, would you like to get it? And I'm not gonna go into crazy details of what I really thought about it, but it just was under the radar for me. I think the pictures did not do it justice. The marketing material that Ducati talked about didn't do it justice. This paint job works great on this motorcycle. That was my first thoughts when it rolled through the doors over here. All work at Motomillion stopped, maybe because we have the younger generation over here that are in line with Supreme's messaging. But to me, I'm a bit older. These things are a little under the radar for me, but for me, it looked amazing. I think this paint job works really well. Maybe it's these white wheels with some of the details that they put on it. It looks absolutely fantastic. And I really appreciate my friend, who is the owner of this motorcycle, that is a very big collector, trusting us with this beautiful motorcycle that he has, but also trusting us with making this into something even more special, which we'll get to in a second. Furthermore than first impressions, and this is the controversy that's come up in these special edition motorcycles, especially this one right here, we think Ducati could have done a little bit more, because the clients who are buying these motorcycles, they probably wouldn't mind paying a little more to get something even more special. This is an amazing motorcycle, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it, but it is a Streetfighter V4S with the Supreme livery on it. It being the most rarest model, works for collectors and people who care about that stuff. But for me, when I take a look at it, let's show you this real quick. The rear caliper that's over here, right? The front caliper is a beautiful red and blue that matches this motorcycle, but it wouldn't do even more in terms of cost if they had a red caliper to go in the back. And speaking with the owner of this motorcycle, we're trying to figure out what do we do to this motorcycle, and that's when the build philosophy really goes in line with what we do at Motomillion, because if you remember a Streetfighter V4, the whole philosophy behind it was that if Ducati didn't hold back on the Streetfighter V4, what would it look like? And if they didn't hold back on the Supreme Streetfighter V4, what would it look like? Obviously, the Lamborghini edition got bespoke bodywork that's in different shapes and designs. That was all mostly carbon fiber. On this one, even if they didn't want to do different shapes and designs, all of this black plastic that you see on here, that could have been carbon fiber. And that's where Motomillion is going to step in. And we're going to be taking this motorcycle and staying true to the form of this motorcycle the way that Ducati intended it. We're going to give all gloss carbon fiber to the black plastic pieces that you see. And also, we want to clean up things a little bit, right? So this handlebar over here has to get cleaned up. But instead of going that extra step that we did our integrated reservoirs in the front, like the Streetfighter V4, the Motomillion Streetfighter V4, we're going to stay a little OEM plus. So it's going to get the Ducati by Rizoma parts on there. But without giving too much information, we want to get you guys to watch our build series episode so that you guys see some new parts, but also new pieces on this motorcycle. I'm happy to introduce that there's going to be a brand new part, never been seen before, that we're going to reveal on this motorcycle. The manufacturer actually agreed that this is going to be a great platform for us to show that part on. And I'm happy to say, you don't have to be a Streetfighter V4 or a Supreme Streetfighter V4 enthusiast, because that part also will fit the Panigale V4s, the first generation ones, but also the 2025 Panigale V4s and the Streetfighter V4s that are coming in 2025 as well. And also, we spoke about that rear caliper. There is one special Ducati bike that had a red caliper. We're going to try to see if we could source that red caliper for the rear. So we're going to try to get that. And if not, it's not too hard for us to paint the rear caliper to match the front caliper. It's going to be red and white. So we're going to be doing that as well. The Fender Eliminator, this is obvious, right? This has got to go. And what's cool about this build is the owner actually wants to use this motorcycle. Even though this is very rare, he agrees the Streetfighter V4 is such a usable platform that he wants to use this. Obviously, I don't think he's going to put tens of thousands of miles on it, but for people who are able to afford these things, most of them are very busy, but it's great that he could just go around town with this to his meetings, to go grab some food or coffee, or to run some errands on this. This is the perfect motorcycle for it. I think also one thing that we haven't finalized is the exhaust system. He really wants to put an exhaust system on it, but we're trying to figure that out. So stay tuned to see what we're going to put for the exhaust. We want it to not be taken away from the design of this motorcycle. Of course, we want to make it louder, but we don't want to make it louder in terms of design. So we're going to figure that out, and you'll see it in some of the episodes to come. But I would like to say that this build starts today, and it starts with giving this build a name. It's very fitting to say that we're going to start this build and we're going to call it the Ducati Streetfighter V4 Supreme of the Supreme Edition, because that's what we're set out to do. With all of our expertise and all the great parts that we have here at Motomillion, we want to make the Supreme of the Supreme Edition. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of great parts, a lot of great videos to come your way. I want to hear your thoughts as well. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, guys, have a good one.